All right, welcome back to my channel, The Awakening for Life, where we simply provide the representation for the underdog. I will be your host, Nate, with a lot to say. I'm hoping everybody is having a wonderful day. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and always remember entrepreneurship is life. So, before I start this video, there's some things that I want to talk to you about. Um, and I feel like, now that I'm starting to grow an audience and everything, I want to give you guys the opportunity. You can either, stay with me and we can take the awakening journey together. Or if this is not for you, you can always move and keep going. There's no hard feelings. I feel like by putting the truth out here now, I'll give you an idea of who you follow. And, for me, I have been on my journey for quite some time, right? I had to deconstruct myself for a very long time. And this has been a long process, and to the point where I finally took the time to make the change. And so I am MTF. I know the voice is the same, but I can assure you the parts are different about me, just to keep it a buck. And so, um, right now there's attack on my community. There's attack on who we are. And there's a lot of propaganda that's being projected on the media, like we're the boogeyman or the boogeyman woman, and we're hiding behind the bushes and we waiting to, grab your kids and groom your kids, and that's not the truth. It's all misinformation, and this misinformation is getting people like myself harmed. So I can only speak for me, all right? I can only speak for me. I can only educate from my point of view, right? And I'm just going to say that I do not want to take anything from a woman. All right. I do not want to compete in the sports with a woman. I'm in competition with myself. I'm in competition for my happiness. I want to grow. I want to come to terms with the things that I want to do. That's it. And stay out the way. I have been advocating for a league of our own. I think it'll be a good thing for us to have a league of our own. I think it'll be good for us to have spaces of our own. Right? So then that way, everybody is comfortable. And then we can still exist. We can still grow. We can still unify and go about our daily lives where this doesn't have to become an issue. You see? So I'm all about growth. I'm all about improving. And this is the reason why it's taking the courage for me now to, make these videos. It's taking the courage for me to step up my game, because every day I hit these videos, every day I want to get better. Every day I want to get motivated. In other words, I may one day, someday come across on one of you guys. You might see me in real life. And then you'll be like, okay, now I get it. I understand it. So rather for me to tell you up front, that way I give you the decision. Then you happen to find out and be disappointed and be like, oh, I didn't know this. Then this becomes a bigger issue than what it really has to be. So that's me being real on the channel. So I have a poem right here that I created. And this one I created for a while. Now this one is a trigger warning, and I'm going to utilize and substitute certain words because I don't know how the YouTube algorithm is. And so with that being said, I'm going to give you a moment to either leave the video, or if this is not for you, I want to give you a moment to prepare yourself. All right, with that being said, I'm going to jump right into it. All right? How they say discretion is advised on this one. There comes a point where you're tired of society calling you an abomination. The top 1% passing laws to use the Bible as a weapon to eradicate my transition. Listen, for all those who hold a grudge or most likely to judge, this poem is for you. I always said, to thyself be true. I hear people say that God don't make mistakes and that you were created a man. Suck it up and play your position and get your head out the sand. Others say what you're doing is foul. The whole reason why you want to become a woman is to secretly become a owl. Others will speculate that I contribute to my own doom, and that a woman's wardrobe is not a costume. When it comes to feminine festivities, the narrative seems that all of us are partaking in women activities. Just seems like society tells us that I'm gonna get you the moment we exit out of a female's restroom. We're belittled with either a video or a picture. We try to live our lives in the shadows and peace. The more the media highlights this, the more the wolves come out to feast. It just seems like more and more trans women are most likely to be a victim of a crime. Comments that I read on YouTube will make accusations about us on the dime. Oftentimes you'll hear about the narrative, maybe he tricked him. So as consequence, as a trans woman, he deserved an eye. Secretly, these men are led by their masculinity, but unresolved feelings allow these men to live a lie. Deep down inside, they really want something more, but it's like society has standards to keep the heart hardcore. To escape this negativity, every day I try to ask God to thank Him for the opportunity. When God makes an offer that I cannot refuse, I always say that I'm blessed win or lose. I was always taught to be like everyone else, but I never asked what did I want for myself. I've given all I had left to be part of a program, but deep down inside I was left unhappy, and I realized in hindsight that no one really gave a damn. I mean, what can I say? For many years I tried it their way. Just so I can paint you a picture of reality, I overcompensated my masculinity by inducing more brutality, thinking if I was rough, tough, buff, but eventually you'll come to the concept that your mind has said enough. Something has to give, and now your purpose is to live. So, I ask God, why protect me, which is a nothing? Listen to this: when it comes down to judgment, I will neither hide or resist. I will personally tell God that I just couldn't get it together, and He'll probably banish me from His sight forever. Before I leave this world, I would like to be a blessing to my sister and my brother, regardless of how they feel. And I hope all my shortcomings and my iniquities that God can meet me halfway on this deal. I'm talking to God by telling it that I'm a failure and that you have a billion people. There's got to be somebody out there whose heart is pure with limited evil. I do not want pity nor remorse, because as you say, my wrongdoings will take its course. But at least allow me out of glory to sit down with you and break bread and tell my story. You don't know me, and it's empathy that you lack. However, I have a big heart to show you an ounce of compassion, and that's a fact. If you're hungry and thirsty, without hesitation, I will feed you and give you water to show mercy. You teach your kids how to hate. I teach my kids that we're all the same and we can find ways to relate. You make up lies about me. I'll open up my doors so you can see that over time you will come to love Naomi. And so I have a lot of this stuff here. I got more in it, as you can see. Um, but that is pretty much my writing on the poem. Um, it's what I am, it's who I am. Um, a lot of people have their reservations on it, and that's cool. You can agree to disagree. Um, but it took me a while to deconstruct myself. I mean, it took me a while to stop drinking the poison and stop comparing me to that of other people. Um, it took me a while to get it together because I kept fighting and fighting, and I was an ugly person back then, and I didn't want to be that person anymore, and I wasn't where I used to be. And that's the thing about it, is putting in the work, is making sure that you're not the person that used to be, and to keep going. And so I appreciate you guys for taking the time to really listen to my poem. It makes a lot. And again, I leave it in your hands. See what you're going to do. And again, I'll be honored to have you. If not, I wish you nothing but the best on your journey. And, just remember that we're all human beings at the end of the day, win or lose. That's all I have. See y'all next time.